Hi, I'm Laura Hill. I'm so excited to have been given the opportunity to talk to you about Body Biotics and the Body Biotics products because I've been using them for over 20 years and they've just been such an important part of my life. Kelly DeSante, who's the president and CEO of Body Biotics, and I've been friends for well over those 20 years. And it was before she actually discovered the Body Biotics Probiotics. And I knew that she had a problem with her sinuses and allergies and had had her whole life. And when she told me she was trying something new and then reported in 2 weeks later that her life had truly changed and that she no longer had the problems, I was thrilled for her and started investigating the product myself. I was open and interested to see what they could do for me. So I started using the products. And you can read about Kelly's story on the website there. I knew that our soil had been depleted of all the really good nutrients in it and that this was a real problem for our health. So as I started to read about these probiotics, I found out how they could really help me because I'm really, really big about anti-drug use, like using any kind of prescription drugs and so forth. I just try my very best to not have to use any. And I've been pretty successful so far and want to continue on that path. And I have found that even like this flu season, I'm healthy while everybody else around me is dropping like flies with the flu. And my other friends have also told me, the ones that are on Body Biotics have told me that they noticed that they are staying healthy and not coming down with the flu like everyone else around them are. So after a lot of research over these 20 years, this is my understanding of how the natural benefits of a true and pro and pre-probiotic actually work. There's a lot of probiotics on the market now, especially because the benefits of probiotics are becoming much more known and studied. But there's significant differences between all of those probiotics and a real true probiotic. The differences have to do with their ability. One of them is to communicate with each other and then therefore within the body. And their ability to eliminate putrefaction, which is the root source of a lot of so many diseases and ailments, and then also helping our body produce its own antibodies. So that's what a true probiotic should do. And most of the probiotics that are on the market are either in a liquid or a freeze-dried form. I know that Body Biotics is actually alive and thriving because they are encapsulated in their own natural food source. They're not freeze-dried. They are living organisms in their own natural food source, which contains fulvic acid. And fulvic acid is one of the building blocks of the human body. And the probiotics these probiotics have a natural affinity for each other. They have been, actually they were found naturally cohabitating together in some soil that has been, in this way for thousands of years. And so what that means and why it's important is it's a specific consortium of these probiotics and the specific strains, and they know how to communicate with each other. And therefore, they know how to communicate within the body once they have been ingested and consumed. So this is like raising children in the same family that know how to talk to each other, the same language, have the same nuances, as opposed to putting a group of children together that are from different cultures and speak foreign languages to each other. They just don't know how to communicate effectively. So that's one of the really important things, and you have to be alive and thriving and have grown up together, so to speak, in order to be able to do this kind of communication and to teach your body how to communicate. When you find a bottle of probiotics and it tells how many CFUs are in there, that means that's all there's ever going to be, because they're not alive and thriving, and they're not living in their own substrate, food source, and therefore they can't continue to multiply and really do the job that they need to do in there. They're just usually grown in different vats and thrown in together, and that's not how a true probiotic is actually cultured. So that's really important about the communication. And then because they can communicate, they start to colonize once in the gut. Now what happens when it starts to colonize is really a great part of this. They start to drag out the putrefaction and decay that lines the gut and the digestive system. This is sort of like cleaning out the pipes, so to speak. The years of built-up fungus and mold and decay and yeast is eliminated. And these kind of pathogens can be the source of everything from acne to Crohn's disease to yeast infections. And your gut has, if your gut has a buildup in its system of these pathogens and putrefaction, it can absorb nutrients effectively. So you can be eating healthy but still be malnutritioned, actually. They can even seek out viruses that are latent, things that you've maybe had in the past and things that are just kind of laying there dormant that haven't risen their ugly little head yet. And they can actually go in and seek those out, and through a detoxification and elimination process, give us a healthier system. A true probiotic will help your body manufacture its own antibodies and give you strength to fight anything that invades your system. And most of us don't have enough friendly bacteria to actually overcome the unfriendly bacteria, and having a healthy system actually depends on this. And when it's your own immune system creating your immune system, then it can go in and it's kind of neutral. It can go in and find any kind of source that shouldn't be in there and eliminate it. Every day that you're not taking a good probiotic you're really depleting your system and not allowing it to be 100% functioning. You have to do something to rebuild it, make a deposit, so to speak. And I think the only reason that you wouldn't want to take a good probiotic is maybe the cost. But in the long run, if your health declines, you'll be paying 10 times the cost of what a month's supply of a good probiotic is to just handle the disease up front, the prevention of it. I've used Body Biotics with much success over these 20 years, but one of the most astounding and money-saving experiences I ever had was that I had a tooth that had already had to have a root canal, and then it started getting infected even after the root canal. Well, I would have had to take an antibiotic or have more surgery done, etc. But I put a Body Biotic between my gum and the infected area, and after a couple days, I noticed the infection actually went away. I read an interesting article the other day in the New York Times about how they're finally discovering, even though we've kind of known it for a long time, how probiotic can have the same and even better effects than an antibiotic can. My two beautiful grandchildren will not do without their what they call vitamins, their probiotics, every day. They take the chewable ones. They take 3 a day, and they are like little Nazis if their mother forgets to give it to them, and they insist on having their probiotics before they leave the house every day. And they've stayed very healthy their whole lives, and I'm lucky that my daughter took them during her pregnancy. And the research now, is coming out and showing that a mother does pass most of a child's immune system to them at birth. So pregnant mothers taking probiotics are very, very important. I also love the pH balance product. I did a lot of research on why you would need to have a pH balanced body. And I think it's another reason I don't get colds and flus, etc. And my little Mackenzie Grace Morris was 7 when her teacher told her that she had a cold, And Mackenzie said, well, all you need to do is just take some pH balance. She herself, little Mackenzie, had experienced how a cold can just go away if you take a couple of doses of pH balance. So out of the mouths of babes. I'm just very thankful for Body Biotics, for myself and my family and my friends, and it has just made a huge difference in our health.